Hello, dear friends. Today I want to share a story with you that, as a mother, was very difficult and painful for me. I always thought my daughter, Angelina, was on the right path, but life doesn't always go the way we want it to. Angelina is a kind, beautiful, and smart girl. From a young age, she was successful in her studies and always had big dreams. She loved her family and adored her father, who was always proud of her. When she graduated from university and got a good job, my husband and I were extremely happy. We even bought her an apartment so she could live more comfortably and have a bright future. But I never imagined I would discover a secret that would break my heart. For some time, I had felt that Angelina had changed. She came home less often, her look was sad, and she always hid her phone from us. One day, I discovered a truth I didn't want to believe. My daughter was in a relationship with a married man. This news shocked me like a thunderbolt. I couldn't share it with my husband. He saw our daughter as the pride of his life, and this truth could destroy his pride. I didn't know what to do. Every night I went to bed with restless thoughts, and every morning I woke up with a heavy heart. Should I stay silent and wait for her to realize her mistake? Or should I confront her with the bitter truth she didn't want to hear? I was afraid that if I talked to her, she would distance herself from me. But if I stayed silent, maybe it would be too late, and she would get more trapped in this relationship. Every time I looked at her, I saw a girl who still had the kind and innocent heart of the past, but was making a mistake. These thoughts tortured me until I decided I couldn't just be a silent observer. I had to talk to her. One day, while sitting at home, I looked directly into her eyes and with a trembling heart said, "I know what you're doing." Her eyes widened in surprise, but she didn't lie. She quietly said,
"This is my life, not your problem."
My heart broke. In a voice that tried not to shake, I said, "He is married, dear. This relationship won't end well." She turned her gaze away from me and quietly said,
"He loves me. He promised to leave his wife."
I knew this was just an empty promise. I said, "Married men always make promises, but in the end, they never leave. You deserve something better than this." Suddenly, anger appeared on her face. She raised her voice.
"You don't understand anything. I love him and he loves me."
With eyes full of tears, I said, "If you continue, I will tell his wife." Angelina, with a rage I had never seen before, yelled
"Don't interfere in my life anymore."
and decided to leave home. At that moment, I felt like my heart was shattered into pieces. Nights were sleepless. Our home had become lifeless, and the empty space she left behind felt like a wound in my heart. I missed her so much. To fill this emptiness, I started doing different things. During the day, I kept myself busy with housework or sometimes talking to my friends, but nothing could fill the gap she had left. I missed Angelina terribly. Whenever I thought about the good days in the past, it felt like everything was lost. I didn't know how to get closer to her or how to help her get through this crisis. I decided to give Angelina some time to realize on her own that this path was wrong. She was still very young and thought she could easily make decisions and find a bright future. But I knew this path would only hurt her more. Finally, I decided to call her. One night, with trembling hands, I looked at my phone and dialed her number. When I heard her voice, my heart calmed down. "Angelina, my dear, I miss you. Can you come home tomorrow?" After a brief silence, she said,
Okay, Mom, I'll come tomorrow.
The next day, when Angelina came home, I felt like everything could be fixed. But soon I realized it wasn't. We started arguing again, and she stood up to leave. Before leaving, she coldly said,
Don't call me about this again.
I was alone again. Days passed, and I felt like with each day that she was gone, the pain grew deeper. Nothing could fill the emptiness she had left in the house. My husband also asked,
Where is Angelina? Why doesn't she come home often?
but I couldn't tell him the truth. Days went by. After 2 weeks, my phone rang. Angelina's name appeared on the screen. My dear? Her voice was quiet and broken.
Mom, can I come see you?
My heart was filled with hope. Of course, anytime you want. When she came, her face was tired and her eyes were red. She sat down and didn't say anything for a while. Then, with a trembling voice, she said,
He lied, Mom. He said he would leave his wife, but he didn't. Now he doesn't even answer my calls.
I took her hand. Her fingers were cold. I said lovingly, My dear, you are not alone. I am here. Tears streamed down her face.
I was so foolish, Mom.
I hugged her. No, you weren't foolish. You just wanted love. You just wanted to believe. She slowly rested her head on my shoulder. It was like after a great storm. She had come back home. Angelina, who had been in a relationship full of lies and empty promises for so long, was now facing a broken heart and a confused mind. This situation was extremely hard for her, as she felt she had deceived herself and had lived in a fantasy world all along. Angelina had feelings of failure and hopelessness inside her, and she couldn't easily free herself from this pain. The days felt long and lifeless for her. Nothing could make her happy. She spent most of her time in her room, lost in her thoughts. However, every day I tried to help her. At first, Angelina didn't want to talk. But I asked her not to hide her feelings and to know that I would always be there for her. I reminded her that she was still young and had many opportunities to build a better life. I told her that mistakes are part of life, but what matters is learning from them and moving forward. I was always a listening ear for her, even if I felt like I was failing too. For several weeks, we did simple and enjoyable activities like going on short walks, watching our favorite movies, and even cooking delicious meals together. These activities helped Angelina gradually come back to herself and feel that life still had good and valuable things. Eventually, she realized that she had found love for herself again in her heart and no longer needed anyone's approval. As a mother and a supporter, I was always there to help her get through this tough time with hope and strength. Later, Angelina met a man she truly loved, a kind and sincere young man who, from the beginning, showed her love and respect. Their relationship grew stronger day by day, and when they announced their intention to marry, I cried tears of joy. This was exactly what I had always wanted for my daughter, a real, honest, and pure love. And at that moment, when I saw the ring on her finger, I knew that she had finally found the right path. My daughter had learned a big lesson in life, but the important thing was that she was moving forward, stronger and more aware than ever before. To all of you who listened to this story, I say, real love is honest, kind, and pure. Never deceive yourself with hidden love full of lies. You deserve the best. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.